This is the weekly sales meeting for March 26, 2023. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic is forget what you don't have, monetize what you do. The broadcast business has been under attack by the internet for decades. These large digital media companies are lurking on Main Street. They have self-service advertising platforms. These platforms promise intrusive data tracking and Big Brother-type precision data. All are bought and sold by incognito programmatic servers run by bot farms in China. And the worst offenders, the social media platforms, have promised overnight success. This promise was made to everyone selling Etsy out of their spare room in their rental house. This long-tail advertising platform casts itself as every man's medium. Meanwhile, you are as likely to have success using it as getting the gold bars from my favorite fictitious Nigerian prince. Broadcasting companies have been whining about these unregulated social media giants for years. They remain unchecked by government regulations. They are unencumbered by the paperwork burdens of public files and serving the public interest. They are free to sell their data-mined customer base to large corporations. Many of these corporations can't understand if they are seeing a return on investment from their payments to Mark Zuckerberg, but they have trackable data and droves of it on Mary Jane from Peoria, Illinois. Marketers, both novice and expert, are impressed with the granular nature of the data, so they pump more and more money into their digital marketing arms, creating a new type of addict. We get addicted to likes, shares, and engagement. Meanwhile, no one knows if it is ringing the cash register or not. Back on planet Earth, let's look at traditional media houses. We have resisted the move to the analytic performance of advertising data. The reasons may be cost, understanding, or fear, or all three. But the truth in the performance data shows a tremendous benefit. The data shows, on average, every commercial on broadcast creates action of some kind. Good, timely, relatable commercials create massive action, as it is mass media. In some of my better campaigns, each commercial was delivering 9 to 12 customer actions. This is per airing. There were some lighter than that, depending on the message. It sounds like we are comparing apples and oranges, but actions per airing sounds better than a click-through rate of 0.025%. That click-through rate is the standard bearer for much of online advertising. Tying that analytic performance to the average customer should be a game changer. Aligning the actions from advertising to the average customer value should make it a simple decision. But the cost, understanding, and tradition seem to be the main obstacles to conversion. A long time ago, for reasons that completely escape me, the broadcast business tied itself to fractions, all while the rest of the advertising world tied itself to the big number. The total audience is much more valuable than the fractional ratings-based average. Most media companies trade on small numbers, and we can spend time debating the why and how, or we can do something proactive. Look at the newspaper business. It was bold enough to create its own consumption numbers based on, get this, pass-along readership. It was never smaller or fractional, always the larger number, thus creating a bigger universe. For every newspaper sold, it would change hands an extra 1 to 2 times, making it more valuable. In later years, newspapers were able to add hotels and prisons. Yes, they added the ones with the bars on their windows, as part of the readership numbers. Meanwhile, broadcasters in both radio and television cling to their fractional ratings information. We use it as the primary trading currency. The newspaper business always had the high ground. They had the bigger universe. Broadcasters have created their own audience spiral. We have focused our energy on the erosion of fractional audience. We could have put our attention on the big numbers of the total. The truth is, the audience for most media sources has eroded, and it may have more to do with the total number of attention-grabbing sources entering the market, but the total audience of any broadcast station far outweighs the Twitterverse or Metaverse or whatever you would like to call it on a local level. The big social media behemoths tout a worldwide audience, but doesn't move the needle on Main Street for Tom's House of Hairpieces. Local media outlets need to look at and harness what they do well. They can do this rather than point to the competitors and cry foul. And like any other competitive space, if we make better products that appeal to a mass audience, the audience will show up. Since 1996, media outlets have stopped advertising to grow audience. Like its brothers, capital expenditure and research, marketing was a casualty of consolidation. In the game of spreadsheet Olympics, those were the casualties. Those brothers will never come back from the dead. It was a short-term decision that the industry is paying for 25 years later. But this problem is a conversation for another time. Today we're talking about monetizing what we do have. Look at your total audience. Create a tangible numerical value for each audience member. Each one represents potential spending, and this purchasing power is clout. It turns fractions into wallets. And last I checked, wallets make purchases. Not all are online. If you are in an unrated or unmonitored situation, there is still a way to create your own audience values. You can use county retail sales numbers as a basis point. It's a little more work, but it shows real value in the total audience and will get you out of the fractions business. What would happen if you approached a potential advertiser with this idea? The idea is that you represent tens of thousands of people, and these people are about to spend $1 million this week on automobiles. It is a very different conversation. It is different as it is concrete. It is a real dollar value of your total audience. And the best part of that conversation is you are the gatekeeper. They are your product's audience. Only you can grant access to reach this group. The person with the best message has an advantage. The business with the best value proposition will stand out. The marketer who delivers the message with the most effective frequency will win. They will do so using your unique product. And you will get yourself out of the comparison shopping business. You will pass into the unique mass media audience business where you should have been all along. Whining about what we don't have is a losing proposition. Monetizing what we do have can be the long-range winner. Even if that audience is in decline, we can go into ways to reverse the trend, but that is a much longer conversation for another time. In dealing with reality, we can focus our efforts on the tangible nature of the available audience. They are all local, and with electronic mass media, they have already agreed to our contracted terms of service. They are willing to trade advertising for the free over-the-air content we provide, all of it in service of our local communities. The people consuming the product are local residents who have local dollars to spend. They are willing to support local advertisers if invited. These businesses can thrive on the available localized spending and won't have to be reliant on the magic algorithm to deliver the right message to your predetermined desired segment. If only they were scrolling through their phones at the appropriate time. Instead, they will receive a warm welcome from a trusted friend in a trusted voice. True, the universe is shifting, but the shift does not render local broadcast facilities incapable of delivering mass audiences to any place of business. It means we have to change the narrative trap we created for ourselves by focusing on the smallest point rather than the largest. It will take retraining our minds to insist we get credit for what we deliver. It will take our ability to zero in on the available audience and frame them for the power they have. Everyday purchasing decisions are being made by our audience. Whether they be in the tens of thousands or millions, they impact the community we served. The online behemoths can sell all the impressions they want. We can get back into the business of monetizing Main Street. Electronic media continues to be the most effective way to reach a large group of people that have a lot in common. Thus, a well-crafted message that resonates with this common group is going to make the biggest economic impact on our local customers for our local businesses. Instead of complaining about all the unfair advantages the online world has, let's look at the unfair advantage local media has, and then never give up the high ground again. The one thing every online business would love to have is the account list of every local media outlet. They are envious of those. Ever stop to think about why? They have no local relationships, and relationships are hard to break. That is a value proposition they will never attain. The ability to talk with a local decision maker and influence the direction of the message is lost in the online world. They are all subject to the programmatic bidding and algorithmic sorcery that produces the national footprint. Meanwhile, local media outlets can see theirs at the Little League field, grocery store, and at breakfast the next morning. It is much more tangible when it looks like your neighbor. Get out of the fractions business. Get into the total audience monetization business. Start working on your value proposition based on what you do have. Quit worrying about what everyone else has. Work on your big number. Deliver that big number with the big purchasing power that goes along with it. Make that number work for you on a weekly, monthly, or annualized basis. You will get out of the fractions business. That practice has commoditized our unique offerings. Besides, fractions are dumb. They represent a smallness no other mass-consumed media product uses for commerce. They all use the big universe, and universes are better. They are vast and far-reaching. Fractions are small and represent a small slice of the total rather than the total itself. Let's total up the big numbers and trade on that. Forget what we don't have and monetize what we do have. And it's a lot. My new book, You Can't Lead from the Back of the Room, Nor Should You, is now available on Audible as an audiobook download. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider downloading a copy or two. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.